Streaming live from the studios of TV3, first in news, best in entertainment. Well, we're discussing the HR Focus Conference 2016 and we're zooming in particularly on the theme this year, which is technology-driven HR, people, processes, and performance. My guest this morning, Ravina Echampon. She's the editor-in-chief of the HR Focus magazine. They're actually the organizers of the event, the HR Focus Conference. And then there's also Mr. David Mills, who's a business strategy officer with Linnae Services. Lady and gentlemen, you're welcome. Ravina, it's the first time I'm hearing this name. What kind of a name is that?
It's new to me.
It's new to you. So you're the only one with this name. Yes, like Moon. What does it mean?
Sweet and cute.
Well, that you are. I've always said that we actually respond to our names. This was important to give good names to your children.
Right.
You are sweet and cute.
Thank you.
At least, I mean, my first 10 minutes of meeting you, I can say that much.
Thank
I don't know
you.
how terrible you are inside.
No.
You're welcome, David.
Thank you. Very
Okay, so beyond hiring and firing, there's a question I asked early on when we began the program. Beyond hiring and firing, what does HR management entail?
All right, so HR basically is the process of effectively and efficiently managing the human capital side of the business to ensure that organizational goals and objectives are met. Now, it's very important to understand that every company exists to achieve a specific purpose. The people make those things happen. So HR is a very vital component of the entire business chain. Without HR, we're unable to achieve the goals and objectives that we set for ourselves. So HR is not just about firing and hiring. That SWA perception, I think, has been erased or probably is still being erased.
Okay.
HR is a strategic component.
So how do you add business value to the organizations within which you work?
So HR must do HR for the business. Now, the practice of HR, probably the principles of HR are quite universal. So we have, you have recruitment or talent sourcing, as we like to call it in contemporary times. You have human resource development. You have workforce planning and employment. You have employee engagement. You have compensation and benefits. All of that is part of the HR spectrum. However,
it spans quite a wide range.
It's important to contextualize the principles within the industry that one practices HR.
Oh.
If you're an HR professional in the media landscape, you ought to understand the dynamics of the industry and fit in. If you're in the banking sector, same applies.
And understanding this is the issue. I recall not too long ago in church, in a small meeting with a pastor, he asked all of us what the mission statement of our various organizations were. You won't believe it. It's a big shame. About 90% of us didn't know. And he said, how do you even contribute meaningfully to the company if you don't even know what drives the company, what the mission statement is? Do you not find this common? I mean, the people you've worked with or come into contact with, I'm sure a chunk of them do not even know what the mission statement of their companies is.
It's not surprising at all. Just a couple of days ago, I was with a friend who runs a microfinance, and I was telling him that his mission statement, I asked him, can he actually tell me in verbatim what his mission statement is? And he told me, David, I must confess, I can't. Yeah. So even if the top dog can't verbatim quote what the mission statement of the company is, certainly his employees wouldn't.
So that's a big deficiency.
It's a problem, and I'm not surprised. The problem is that we need to understand that mission drives intent. Mission is the purpose, the overriding purpose of the organization. Sometimes the company's mission statement may never change the entire lifespan of the organization. So it's imperative for the leaders of the company to get the mission statement right. But even more important, it must be kept simple so that everybody within the organization must or knows what it is and where it is taking the organization to. Because there's no point in being part of a system that you don't know
where it's going
to.
Yeah. Okay, so Ravina, you're with HR Focus magazine. Tell us what this magazine is about.
HR Focus magazine is about HR issues.
Okay.
So we champion HR issues, what happens in organizations, what happens in the world of work, basically. So what we do is we get spotlights of people who are championing strategy in their organizations. We spotlight them so people can know more about them. We have a melange, which, when it comes to HR, it's not just about going to work, but your health is important. How you keep your finances are important. So we encapsulate all that and then we put it in a magazine that people can pick it up and say, this is something that I can go to when I need information.
So, well, obviously the information you're putting in your magazine is not enough. Now you're doing the conference as well.
Well, not...
I just want to know what informs the conference.
Well, the conference is to bring HR practitioners, CEOs, not just HR, but CEOs, business executives together to discuss and deliberate on issues affecting the world of work, and then come up with solutions to solve these issues. So that's what brought up the conference.
Yeah. So, David, how different is HR today from what it was like, say, a couple of decades ago? I understand that there must be some evolution considering the constantly changing business landscape globally. So how different is this? Let's do a comparison, a quick one.
I think HR has evolved significantly. So from the era of administrative service provider, where it was very easy to hear answers like, if you ask a question like us, what does HR do? The obvious answers you heard was HR pays my salary, HR does my
hires
benefits,
or fires,
etc., etc. Now, if you ask those questions today, you will hear things like HR is part of the strategic planning process, HR creates value, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the foremost thought leaders in HR is Professor Dave Orridge, and he says that HR must be measured by what it delivers, tangible results that impacts the bottom line. And so there are business metrics that have been identified and correlates with HR practice. The expectation is that HR leaders will not just do HR for themselves, but like I said earlier on, contextualize their practices so that they can create value for the business.
Okay, I'll center on the theme now, technology-driven HR, people, processes, and performance. More and more functions within human resource, in fact, departments in organizations are now electronically executed. So do you not think that the advent of technology threatens the very existence of human resource? I mean, years ago, what would have required 5 people, to do as a task. Today, one person can with the aid of a machine. Is HR, human resource, not threatened?
No, I don't think HR is threatened at all, because human resource has to do with a lot of information, and technology brings in data to deal with these informations. Before David adds a little more to that, initially HR was about administration and all that. Now, like David said, it's a strategic business partner. So with technology, what we are looking at is a forward movement and not people's jobs being threatened per se.
Okay, David, you want to touch on this?
Just to add to what Ravina said, we must understand that technology cannot replace human beings. Some things that human beings can do, technology can do.
I agree. Technology cannot be human and humane, which is what human resource is about.
Technology is actually born out of human innovative prowess.
Okay.
And so there will always be human beings, what we call talent. And McKinsey talked about it in an article in 1997, that we are in an age of a talent war. Okay. People, or the right people, are any organization's most critical asset. And that's where HR comes in.
Okay.
So technology will actually augment what HR does, but would not replace HR.
So it's not technology per se, but it's the art of human and humane management.
Exactly.
Okay, but what does the future hold for HR? Over the weekend, I saw robots in a restaurant in Hong Kong waiting on customers. Just over the weekend, when there was an explosion in New York City, in Manhattan, where police found a bomb, 4 blocks away where they found the second bomb, it was a police robot that retrieved the second bomb. My point is, with robots, and this is coming gradually, robots are going to take up the positions of human beings. Again, is HR not threatened if you're looking forward?
Well, I think that people made the robots. and that's why I'm saying that there's something that machines can do. Machines can think. Machines actually act or act on the prescriptions
of the
human beings.
But it's definitely going to reduce.
And so HR, as a talent manager, will look at bringing in the kind of engineers, agile, adaptable, innovative engineers that can create these robots that creates value and brings efficiency to the business. So the technology has serious limitations as far as the value creation process is concerned. We need human beings to think and to put in systems and structures such that these robots can be actually manufactured.
Yes, but the task one robot
process
can execute, perhaps 100 people cannot. This is the threat I'm looking at.
Yes, the defect is that it actually could result in a massive restructuring where people may have to go home.
Most likely.
Yes, but that's also important depending on the economic indicators. In a typical situation where you have an economic slump and HR must cut costs, interventions like that are necessary, because then you save the budget or you actually relieve people of the payroll, you save money. It brings efficiency, it brings leanness, because don't forget that as companies grow, bureaucracy set in. So when machines come in to actually do what human beings can as well do, it brings efficiency. It enhances the service delivery process. It actually brings about repeat referral business, and the company grows. And so it's actually an added on. But the whole process of managing talent would forever be relevant.
But at least you understand the thread I'm talking about.
I do. In the era of where...
And so how is HR poised to deal with this?
I think that, I mean, like I said, every HR effective or progressive HR leader must be adaptable, and more importantly, contextually sensitive. You must know the dynamics and trends of the industry in which you play. If you work in a fast-paced environment, it's instructive that you do things at a certain pace.
Okay, which is one of the reasons for the conference.
Exactly. So what this whole conference seems to throw light on is how we can use technology to drive efficiency, how we can optimize, we can bring in the right people, we can engage them, remunerate them well, create the conditions that makes them perform at optimal level, and increase and impact the bottom line.
Right.
We want to see a correlation between HR and the bottom line.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I would like to add that even with technology, it's people who drive these robots and technology, let me say. So it's for HR to look at what is happening in the business, and then look at the training needs of the people and develop the people to be able to handle these things.
I saw a survey conducted by PricewaterhouseCoopers on global HR challenges and the 10 key challenges that were raised. David, this is to you, from organizational effectiveness to leadership development, change management. But there was one that really caught my attention, and that's about succession planning. And I think this is key, because it will seem as though all too frequently companies do not make plans for succession, so that in the event one person in whatever capacity is absent, things in that department, organization actually go awry. Have you noted that this is a key challenge?
It's a huge problem. I think, Moon, you're speaking like a versatile HR consultant. Maybe you should think of
maybe I
additional
should.
career.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, so succession planning is key as far as business continuity is concerned. At Lene, we have developed a program we call the Lene Be the Leader. The objective is to identify people, the next generation of leaders that will take Lene to the next level. And we are preparing them today for tomorrow. The greatest tragedy any business can actually commit is to not pass on knowledge, pass on values, pass on ethics, transfer technology, and etc. to the next generation. So succession planning is key, and HR plays a pivotal role. Every HR leader must do what we call a workforce audit, know what kind of talent they have. So we have the baby boomers, we have the millennial generation, we have the generation X, Y, etc. If you have a lot more of the baby boomers who are actually going on retirement, it means that you must strictly prepare the millennials. They come in with their own challenges. They are not too ethical, they're not too process driven. But that's where training and not too loyal. So you are also compelled to witness high attrition rates. But that's where you have to put in systems and interventions to develop them. And that's what this whole conference is about. We're looking at how we can change the game and reinvent the HR process to make it better.
For any company heads who are watching us this morning, if you can just give us some tips. How do you measure effectiveness within your company as far as your human resource is concerned?
I think effectiveness is about results. Efficiency is about cost and time. Effectiveness is about results. So, like I said earlier on, HR is being called upon to deliver results. We don't want HR to just talk. HR must walk the talk. One of the things that HR must do is to create an ethical culture for the company. Because we have seen that on ethical, and there are so many case studies to buttress it, the likes of Enron, WorldCom, recently Volkswagen, etc., where just one unethical practice can actually cost the company millions in dollars.
Right.
We want HR professionals to instill an ethical culture, one where people own the company, own their attitudes, take responsibility for their actions, actually present themselves to be disciplined if possible. And it's possible if you have the right mechanism in place.
Okay, and talking about technology, as this advances within an organization, so do concerns with security, privacy breaches, etc. How does the conference touch on this?
Okay, so like you rightly said, the conference is on people, processes, and performance.
Yes.
And with the people aspects, we are looking at how technology can help people develop recruitment, training, and all that. And then for the processes, we are looking at appraisals, performance results, and all that. So when it comes to security, we have one of our sponsors here who was going to touch on that. Unfortunately, he's not in the studio with us here. But technology also comes to help solve security issues in the sense that you have to put in systems that will solve everything that is not going well with the organization.
Okay, so Ravina Champong, if you can give us details of the conference, when? Okay,
so like David said, succession planning
is also important.
It's on the 23rd of September.
Okay, where?
World Trade Center.
Okay, and then what time?
8 a.m. for the HR forum, and then 12:30 for the career development session.
Okay, and so I said, who are invited?
Everybody. For the HR forum, HR managers, practitioners, CEOs, and then for the career development session, job seekers, young executives, students.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You will be speaking. Are you speaking at the conference?
No, I'm actually part
I like what I
committee.
heard you say this morning, so
Yes,
okay.
I'm part of the committee.
Okay.
But I just wanted
Who
to
are some of the speakers? Or you want to add on something?
I just wanted to add a little bit to the privacy thing, which Ravina talked about. It's important that we understand that three things are actually shaping HR: talent, data, strategy. You can add the fourth, the technology.
Okay.
But data management is key. What HR...
Which is most important of the four?
It's about moon. Well, it depends on which industry
Your
you actually belong to.
Which is most important?
I think strategy. I think someone will say talent. It depends. I mean, like I said, it depends. But all four are important. They're actually intercorrelated. So the whole point is that data management is key. Now, for many companies, you want to look at how you can actually get your customers to connect you to many more customers. You're looking at how you can get your customers to come back to you. And so database management has become central to business success.
Okay.
What this conference will touch on is that we're looking at how HR professionals, and it's been proven by research that HRs in times past focused so much on the soft issues. So recruitment, they were more keen on that. We want them to also focus on the hard things. HR must look at even finance, because you cannot be part of a system and not understand how the system creates revenue and makes money. So typically when HR is invited to an executive meeting, they sometimes don't talk much about the revenue issue because they're actually ignorant, and that's a problem. So this conference is looking at a company-wide agenda to get HRs informed of the entire business. So if they are talking strategy, they can participate. If they are talking about revenue, profit, cost, etc., they can actually be part of it.
Thank you very much. Who are some of the speakers, David?
We have Dr. Esian San, who is a revered HR practitioner, CEO of Access Human Capital. We have Reverend Senior P.J. Collins, he's founder of Rehoboth Foundation. And then we have Irina Sari, HR Facilities and Administration Director, Talogana.
All right, thank you very much. Ravina Echampong, Editor-in-Chief, HR Focus Magazine, organizers of the HR Focus Conference 2016, and Mr. David Mills, Business Strategy Officer, Linux Services. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's like you want to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say for the career development session, we also have Mr. Carl Boafo, who is the Director of HR, Carl Bank, and then we have...
Yeah, I see quite a number of names. Dr. Randy Osai, Bediako, CEO Carriers Group, Mr. Samuel Boafo, and then Mrs. Gloria Ajay.
Yes, L&D Senior.
Yes, all right, thank you.
Let's not forget to mention our sponsors. Sorry, this is so
Those
important. That will kill us.
Okay, you have 2 seconds to do this.
So we have Villa Monticello, we have Integrated Health Solutions, we have WebSoft Solutions, our gold sponsor. The CEO was here to join us. Unfortunately, he couldn't. We have Airtel, we have Awake Mineral Water, we have Vodafone, we have
TV3,
we have TV3, we have PNFT, we have Unique FM, we have City FM, and all the other sponsors. Thank you.
It's a worthy cause. That's why we're supporting you. All right.